Hola, hola. What's good? This is your boy Tico Trent. And this video is going to be about women and hitting a wall and my experience with women and hitting the wall. Um, what I've noticed with women in the wall is pretty much every woman hits the wall. There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. And what that means is your fertility window closes, your looks start fading, you start gaining a little extra weight, stuff like that. Basically, you basically hit the wall. Let it be looks and or fertility. Damn, my English sucks. Fertility. You pretty much hit the wall, no matter what. All women do. It sucks, but all women do. However, there are a couple women from a couple different cultures who are outliers to this rule. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some women, very few women, that actually can have a baby after 30 and well into their 40s without doctor's help. Now I'm stressing without doctor's help or any medical help, basically. In America, women tend to find out that, having a baby after 40 or after 30, you tend to need some more medical help, basically, to do it, basically. You need, like, in vitro fertilization, other shit like that, basically. Freeze eggs, stupid shit like that, basically. Because at the end of the day, women forget. Women start off with a finite amount of eggs, basically, throughout their lifetime. The same amount of eggs that they start off with, is the same amount of eggs that they're going to have when they hit a certain age, basically. So you kind of figure every time you have a period, you're losing some eggs. Every time eggs, basically any reason for an egg to drop, basically, for any given reason or come out, basically, you're losing eggs. Whereas a man, he can pretty much keep on shooting sperm well beyond like age. Shit, there's 80-year-olds right now that's shooting sperm without Viagra. Let that shit sink in. And not shooting blanks. And that's the thing, like, women do hit the wall, unfortunately, a lot faster than men. Men don't really hit the wall. Men actually, where women hit the wall, men take off, basically. You see what I'm saying? So at the same time when a woman hits the wall, a man of that same age is just taking off, basically. It's basically like women start off the race with the advantage, basically. Unfortunately, when they start hitting like 25, they start losing that advantage, basically. So a man starts picking up steam after 30. I would say about like late 20s. We'll say 27, 28, 29, 30, a man starts picking up value, basically. So while the woman's been, like, had a head start on this shit, a man pretty much catches up and passes her, basically. That's how the wall basically works. So a man doesn't really have a wall because the man basically starts off at the wall. And basically, his life actually made to actually climb that wall and get over the wall. The minute he gets over the wall, then his value actually starts taking off. Whereas a woman pretty much smacks into the wall, where a man pretty much got to just climb the wall and jump over and just run. You see what I'm saying? There's a fundamental difference between women hitting the wall and men hitting the wall. A man pretty much never hits the wall because he never really gets started until he's about like 27, 28, 29, 30, basically. So at that time, a woman's coming up on a wall or already hit the wall, basically. Whereas a man pretty much is that nigga's just getting started, literally. Kind of like how Bow Wow said it, I'm just getting started. But yeah, literally. That's how it works. But as I was saying at the beginning of the video, there are a few cultures who actually can bend that rule, I've noticed. One culture being Jamaicans. Jamaican women, oh my fucking God. They bend the hell out of that baby making rule. I've known Jamaican women who've had babies without any medical help, without freezing any eggs, without going to any fertility clinics or anything like that at 45. And have healthy babies. Jamaican women have healthy babies after 40s. In the mid to late 40s, basically. I could think of pretty much a shit ton of Jamaican women that pretty much done it. Like, I lost count literally on one hand all the Jamaican women that can actually pull that off, literally. Yeah. Speaking of which, there's a lot of women. There's a lot of women in my family that, no, not my dad's side of my dad's side of the family who've had babies after 45, and then on top of that, there's but they're not really Jamaican. My mom's side is Jamaican. My granddad, well, I mean, that's what I mean. My granddad mom's side, I'm sorry, who's had babies in her 40s. Matter of fact, the one woman who I signed a contract with to actually have a child was actually 45 when she delivered a baby, naturally. No fertility clinics, no egg freezing, no nothing. She was 46 years old when she delivered Timmy. Let that shit sink in. So Jamaicans do tend to bend that rule, break that rule when it comes to shit like that, basically. I can't really think of too many other ethnic groups or cultural groups that actually can bend that rule or break that rule besides Jamaicans and Trinidadians, basically. Various groups of Latinos, depending on where they're actually from, like, good example, that would be, women from Honduras, women from El Salvador. I don't think they have it as much, but I know women from Honduras can have kids late in life, like that. Like Jamaicans, basically. I don't know if it's just as late, but I've seen like large number of women who've actually been past a certain age. I've actually had healthy children naturally without any help from medical staff. I want to say Jamaicans and Trinidadians mainly, basically. Yeah, but outside of that, like, they're two of few groups of women who can actually have children on the other side of the wall, literally. So those types of women you really got to watch out for if you don't want to have any children if you're a guy. Other than that, yeah, everybody else pretty much hits the wall. I mean, there are certain subsets of Asians that actually can make it, and there are certain subsets of Latinas that can actually pull it off. But that's certain sets of Latinos, and that's very few and far between. Whereas Jamaican women and Trinidadian women pretty much can do it for years on end. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, all of my son's aunts and various people and his mom's side of the family pretty much all have had kids post 45, post 40, basically. All healthy kids without any health problems with the kids and or them, basically. So let that shit sink in. And it's funny how those genetics work, and they get painted as like the least sexiest groups of people, but like genetically they're more superior when it comes to baby making. Literally, they're genetically more superior as women when it comes to baby making, which is kind of funny. So you would definitely, if you're looking for genetics, you definitely want that in your genetic pool, basically, for your children from years to come, basically. Yeah. Outside of that, that's about it.